Welcome to The Connect with your hosts, Kristina Leigh, Krista Escamilla, Shonna Garcia, and me, Natalie Cargile. We inspire, we influence, and we network. Are you ready to slay this new week? Let's go.
Well, happy Saturday. Welcome to The Connect, here with my girlfriends on your Saturday morning. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Everybody off to a great start?
Absolutely.
All right.
How about y'all? Good?
Doing good.
No complaints. It's May 16th, another Saturday, and we're just excited to be here with you. And taking a look at the quarantine, this pandemic, we've seen many big winners and big losers as we muddle through this entire pandemic. So it's Saturday morning, we're talking business. And it seems if you are maybe a hotel, you might be losing right now. Airlines, losing right now. But if you're manufacturing masks, you're winning. If you're delivering products, maybe like groceries or products from one of our online stores, you're winning. So what are the next waves of big winners and big losers that you all expect to see on the horizon?
I think e-commerce is going to be huge. I think e-commerce for a while will be really big, more technology driven like we are here, less travel. But I would say just e-commerce in general. So get those websites intact.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I still think that some people are going to be ahead of the game with regard to how to sense fevers from afar and all of these things that I feel like will those be put in place now, just like going through the airport, going through metal detectors and all these other things? Will there now be fever detectors or any of those? I mean, I feel like some of the technology that will be created because of this pandemic, those that are in front of it and can kind of sense the direction it's going, is probably going to be big winners, because then they're going to be a staple moving forward.
I think a lot of private educational sources will be.
That's a good one.
I know a lot of our children have participated in those private sectors of education. And so it's sad, but it'll be interesting to see how that all transpires from elementary through college.
I love that, Shonna. That's a good one, because as we're on the just brink, or fingers crossed, of a vaccine, are we comfortable sending our kids back into the world, not social distancing at school? Who knows? But looking at moving into these industries, how do you see people adjusting or finding their way for the future, endeavors you all are mentioning?
I think I've seen people adjust fairly well. I mean, I think the schools have all adapted online learning. I think the struggle with that's going to be from a personal aspect. How long can we as parents, especially for my child, speaking specifically, he's not in college, so his is high school driven and it's very international. So I don't know what that looks like going forward, and will the public schools open, whereas something like that not in the next year? So it'll just be interesting to wait and watch.
Yeah. Right. And I would say the thing that I miss seeing, I think the remote learning has been fantastic. It has been smooth. The schools have done a great job. I personally miss seeing my kids interact with their friends and their sports and in their activities, and be excited about going to school, because I have a couple kids that are really excited about school, and then a couple others that are like, yeah, it's okay. So I'm missing that excitement from them of going to activities and seeing their friends. So for that, I just hope that we can get back to, so for their socializing too, because that's an important part about growing up, is learning to get along well with others and work as a team and work together.
And I've kind of heard the feedback too, that it becomes a quality of life issue. I mean, sure, staying in your house, you aren't sick, but I think a whole lot of people are to the point that, you know what, I'm going to get sick and it's worth it to get out there, because the quality of life isn't there if I'm stuck by myself at home. And I've kind of seen that. And even me, Safety Sally, have kind of gotten to the point that, you know what, if I'm going to get sick, I'm going to get sick. Like, I can see how people are just kind of ready. And so I think that they'll find their way, because really it boils down to a quality of life and what do you value. And I think everyone being locked up on their own have really realized how much they value that kind of human interaction and how valuable it is to their life.
I think we'll see
the age of the children.
Mm-hmm. And I think we'll see a lot of innovation during this time. I think we'll see a lot of people, creating things, as you were talking about earlier. What's the next thing that is going to be, invented? It's like, this is the time where we're going to see that, just like we have in previous pandemics. And, a lot of innovation, a lot of technology, a lot of growing. And so it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that as well.
Well, I'll share with you, I'm Safety Sally number 2, because I haven't gone anywhere in like 63 days. But yesterday I just, usually I make my husband take things to the post office or anything, because he's already going out. In fact, the post office comes to his office, but things that I don't really need to get out and do. But I had to go to the post office yesterday. So I got my Rig ID mask, and I'm just ready to go. So excited. And my mom said something interesting. She said, we're going to have to get out of the house sooner or later, and we're not going to be able to build up any immunities against the coronavirus if we're just all staying inside. So I was thinking about her, had on my mask, went to the post office, and I'm like, Sherlock Holmes in the car. I'm looking at everyone, investigating everything. Do you have a mask on? And I kind of gathered my own data, because I was really interested in seeing, are men wearing masks? Are women wearing masks? What are the age group of the people that are wearing masks? And I will tell you that it really appeared 50-50, many masks, some not wearing them, but I was happy with what I saw. People were being very, very cautious and very safe. So I was excited to see that.
I even had someone say something like, well, you don't have to wear that in here, when I walked in with my mask. And this was someone who was about 70, 75. And I said, well, I not only do it for me, but I do it for others as well. And because I think that's really important to, but once again, with your own comfort level, if you're not comfortable wearing a mask, don't wear a mask. But if you are and you feel like you're helping someone else, why not?
I know it. Quick little story. My neighbor put a little deal on Facebook. She's like, I was sitting outside, and the original home buyer came to my house. He wanted to just see the house. We were outside. And so I put my hand out to shake his hand. And he said, oh, no, we're not supposed to be doing that. And she didn't love that response. She thought it was a bit rude for him to not shake her hand. But, I was thinking he could be an asymptomatic carrier and doing you a favor, So it's just so interesting when you look at the way we are perceiving these opportunities. It's like someone could be saving your life. So I hear you on that.
Well, and all I got to say is, since I was germaphobe before the pandemic, I am totally okay if we accept bowing or like fist bumping is the way to go, and just abandon handshaking altogether. Let's just let it go.
Girl, here's my thing.
Yeah.
I do this. I say air hugs. Air hugs.
I would still rather a hug than a handshake, because you can lean way out on a hug. Their back probably haven't been anywhere dirty, but their hands, I don't know. I just say we just move on from handshakes. We just make it a rule from now on.
And I think that's going to take time. We're going to talk about etiquette in just a second, but thinking about it, it's like, what is proper etiquette when you see someone? Because even my son, who's only 20, he said the other day, he walked up to someone that he would normally go in for the handshake. Hello, sir. How are you today? Because that's, how you taught him, so, and he's like, I didn't know what to do. Yeah. And the other person didn't know what to do, because we would normally do that. And I said, well, I think we just all have to create something that feels comfortable for us, whether it's the elbow, whether it is a side hug, or if it's a virtual high five, whatever it is. I think, there's going to be new etiquette there. We're going to talk about phone etiquette, because that's a big one with everyone. Yes. So when we return, we're going to talk about phone etiquette. But first up, after the break, financial expert Mickey Cargile will join us. President Trump is supporting negative interest rates. What that means for you, coming up next. But first, let's take a look at this week's Midland real estate market update, brought to you by the Bill Lanier Team at Keller Williams Realty.
Hi, welcome to this week's Midland real estate market update with the Bill Lanier Team. I'm Shonna Garcia, and this is Bill Lanier. We are going to be coming to you each week with some information. So, Bill, tell them a little bit about what that's going to look like.
Well, what we want to do is give you interesting statistical data on what's going on with the market, and also we'll have some interviews with local real estate professionals that'll help you know what's going on in our real estate industry.
So we don't have a professional with us today, since we're just introducing the segment, but give them just a couple of tidbits of information.
I think the interesting thing that's going on right now, yes, with the world of COVID-19, our market did slow down, but our under contracts are up from March to April, so it means our activity's back up, and that's a good sign out there. Also, we have some incredibly low, or historically low interest rates.
And it is, and our activity this week has really picked up in our office quite a bit.
It's night and day's difference from a couple of weeks ago, so we're looking forward to this new market, the spring market.
So I think it's exciting. Tell them how they can get a hold of us. If there's anything you specifically want to know about, we would love to hear that. So tell them how they can get a hold of us to get us those questions that we can answer for them.
You bet. Please come visit our Facebook page at the Bill Lanier Team at Keller Williams Realty, or call us at 682-1144.
You can also email Bill or myself, either one of us, at Shonna or Bill at billlanier.com, and we'll be glad to answer any of your questions. One of the other things that we're going to be doing each week is highlighting one of our listings, and so we're excited about that. And this week's we're going to be highlighting 6408 Homestead in Grassland. It is really just a simply gorgeous home, and it overlooks Nueva Vista. You can click on a thumbnail in our comments or go to our billlanier.com page and see that listing as well. And we look forward to any showings we get to show you. And if you are interested, just feel free to contact us at 432-682-1144. And for this week, that's it for the Midland real estate market. And we look forward to seeing you every week.
Are you looking for flame-resistant uniforms? Consider Rig ID Workwear. Here's 5 reasons why. There are no contracts. That's worth repeating. There are no contracts. Eliminate the hassle of lost rented garments. Corporate discounts are available for your entire workforce at Rig ID. Put an end to the hassle and stress of pickup and delivery of your company's uniforms. We offer full FR uniform products as well as boots, gloves, and accessories. Stop by Rig ID Workwear and start saving your company both money and time.
You don't have to be a celebrity to feel like one. Our top-of-the-line Russian hair extensions provide a more natural feel, faster blow-dry time, and a full weight line. Real MC hair extensions are available to all stylists, and all extensions are available the same day. Come in and feel the difference for yourself.
Well, welcome back. Mickey Cargile with Cargile Investments has 35 plus years under his belt when it comes to finance and the stock market. And today, Mick, we have all the questions. Okay, so Krista took us to break talking about President Trump, and he is supporting negative interest rates. I've never even heard of that before. What are negative rates, and what is the likelihood that they are realized?
Natalie, most of us think of interest rates in terms of our checking account. So if you have like a checking account with interest, imagine you put your money in the bank and then you have to pay the bank for them to hold your money for you. Oh. Well, that's the concept of negative interest rates. Ooh. So if you think politicians spend a lot of money now, wait until we start paying them to borrow money, and then they'll spend a lot more. But the thing that holds back from that is that it's not simply President Trump's decision. Chairman Powell came out today and said that he does not support negative interest rates. There's about $15 trillion internationally that's at negative interest rates right now. But I really doubt that the U.S. will support that for any length of time, because although the government thinks they control interest rates, the market really controls interest rates. And I think Americans are just too savvy to loan their money to the government and then pay the government to hold that money.
That's interesting. Now, the stock market continues to climb as many analysts think we're in the second Great Depression. Mickey, what are your thoughts on that? Why are stock prices increasing?
Well, a lot of analysts are coming up with reasons why the market's wrong, because they're trying to defend themselves on being on the wrong side of the market. So, it's just one of those facts that we are in a bull market right now. Bull market is when you're 20% off a low. We're up about 33% off the low that we saw. So the market is actually doing very well, especially considering the economic slowdown that we've had. The market looks forward. It's not a backward-looking thing. And normally we're coming out of recession before we actually know that we're in it. Mm-hmm. So the market is looking forward. It's looking at this $4 trillion the government has placed into the economy overall, and that's kept stock prices higher. Even though there's 33 million Americans out of work, you have to remember there's still 130 million who are working. And so the economy hasn't completely stopped. It's just hit a speed bump. It's slowed down. And I feel like it's going to come back. And certainly the market is reflecting it will come back sooner than what may be thought.
So you think in terms of when people talk about bust or boom or some of these things, do you think right now we're technically in a bust? Or do you think really it's just something short term that is going to pass?
That depends on your perspective. If you've lost your job, if you're out here working in the oil field, you've lost your job. If your company borrowed too much money and was working on too small of a profit margin and had to declare bankruptcy, then this is certainly a bust. For those companies that are well capitalized and have practiced proper financial discipline in their growth models, they're going to do all right. Oil prices have rebounded, but they're only back in their mid-20s. So that's not an all clear that, the oil business is back. I think we haven't found the bottom yet, that there's still going to be more layoffs. You're going to see more voluntary retirement packages, as we get into a little bit farther down the line. And producers are going to continue to cut back on their production. But I do believe that the core economy in Midland is bigger and stronger today than it was in 2016, and that overall we'll do all right coming out of this. The supply of oil is going down. It just depends on how quickly demand comes back up. But I think it's somewhere in between. It may not be, when we think of a bust, we typically think of the late 80s when things were really bad and stayed bad for a long time. This rebound will probably be a little bit quicker simply because, there's more constraint on oil now because of prices. Companies are quicker to act. But overall, we haven't found the bottom yet. And the first thing we need is to quit getting worse. So hopefully that's nearby.
Mm-hmm. Fingers crossed.
Double crossed.
So I know, Mickey, that a lot of people I've seen things on Facebook or whatever comparing it to the Great Depression. What's the difference in this event versus the Great Depression?
The Great Depression, which was the very late 20s and through the 30s up until the time of World War II, was that then there really wasn't any ability for the government to borrow money and help people. We didn't have the robust social programs, the safety nets that we have today. And when people were out of work, they were simply out of work. There were no jobs. A lot of the people that are unemployed today, their jobs will come back once we get the all clear to go back to work. Mm-hmm. But also we have this wonderful safety net. You think about it with the government add-on to unemployment, with the federal government add-on to unemployment, people are going to be made whole up to about $50,000 per year. And that's not even including the relief check that came to most Americans. So, that there is this broad safety net that's out there now. There's probably more coming, and there will be jobs in the future. So I think that the outlook is much brighter than it was, especially when my parents were young people.
Mm-hmm. Mickey, all good information. Thank you so much. We are going to switch gears a little bit and invite you to play a game with us. Does that sound good?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to talk about phone etiquette because before you came on, we were talking about, everybody has different thoughts on really everything, and with right, I mean everything. And
in my household, yes.
You can say that because that's your wife. That's right. So we were just thinking it'd be fun to play a game where we talk about phone etiquette because everybody looks at things differently. So the first question is, okay, ready? Is it okay for kids to talk or play on a phone, a tablet, loudly in a restaurant? Does it make you smile or does it make you frown?
Oh, big frown.
Frown.
Am I the only? I'm the only smile.
You're the only one, Krista.
You're super mom. That's why.
It just doesn't bother me because I think whatever is going to make them be entertained and let the adults have the conversation.
It works. I hear you on that, though.
Okay, number 2, texting at the table. So you're sitting there having lunch with a friend.
Okay.
they start texting and just kind of shut you out. So for 5 minutes.
It's
Frown or smile?
Last lunch they're going to see with me. I'm leaving.
You're the same. Kristina,
I know, we're so much the same, but it's funny. We got some differences, but yes. Yes. Good job, babe.
Shonna, explain why you and I have this.
I guess I have a mutual respect for people whose business is completely on the phone, because I'm on the phone 24 hours a day. And so sometimes I just have to do it. I don't mean to be disrespectful, and I apologize.
Shonna's being apologetic for her own self.
I am.
But it is okay if you apologize and say, like, for me, if it's my kids that are texting me and I'm like, I have to tell them what they, if I need to respond to them, because kids want to be responded to like this, right? I feel like adults, they'll wait a little bit longer for the response, but not kids. They want to know right now what's for dinner. So
if you don't respond, they're just going to keep calling.
Yeah. If it's a babysitter, I mean, if it's something that someone says, oh, I have to get this, it's a babysitter or something. But if it's just all of a sudden, they're just kind of, it catches their attention, their phone's up, then it's like,
That's right, Shonna. Okay, this one is a great one. What about people that talk loudly in an airport on their phone?
On their phone, airport, like it could be me, because the airport's loud, so I've got to speak up. But I think I'm in the middle on that one. These are so funny.
I think, hey, if they want to tell me what's happening to their cousin's aunt's uncle's cousin really loud, I don't care. I'll listen. It's entertaining. I'm not doing anything anyway. Just sitting there listening. So
sure.
What about you, Kristina?
I said, you know what? But here's the deal. I wear headphones. Like, I just try and drown it all out anyway. It's not like the airport's a library, but sometimes the people who are loud, it's like an obnoxious loud. It's not like an I can't hear you, or it's something, it's almost, and so I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence, but really I'm just like, I put on headphones. So it almost doesn't even matter.
Too much. It's too much.
Yeah, I don't care for loud conversation anywhere. So airport's not excluded.
So if you're at home, let us know what you think. What is what's going to cause you to thumbs up or thumbs down on phone etiquette? Let's keep the conversation going online, and connect with us on our website, on social media, everywhere. We're everywhere. So connect with us there. Let us know your thoughts. Well, ladies, that's it. We're going to head to break. Let's thank Mickey again. Mickey, thanks so much.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me again.
Thanks
very much. When we return, we're going to talk about apps. Does anyone have a favorite social media app? We want to hear what it is coming up next. Stay with us.
South 40 invites you to come by and take a gander at all of the Texas souvenirs and gift items we have available for the Texas lover in you. Here at Susie South 40, we take pride in representing our great state of Texas, and that's why you'll always find a great and unique selection of Texas-themed items. And of course, a variety of delicious candy. So stop by today at either of our locations at 401 South Marinfeld or 2101 West Wadley for a great Texas experience in Midland.
Well, welcome back. We are talking business this week. It's Saturday morning. Hope you're getting off to a great start, and we appreciate you tuning in. So, now we're talking about our favorite social media apps. Now, that could be something like an Instagram or a Facebook, or it could be an app that helps you with your Instagram or your Facebook or your Pinterest. What do you ladies love?
My go-to is, my kid calls it the mom app, is Facebook. It's just easy, and that's where all my main connections are. So that I have to say Facebook.
Mom app, that's hilarious.
I know, I love that, the mom app. I have to say Facebook is probably the one I'm on the most, but I also really like LinkedIn for business. I feel like for business connections and to, get information out about your business, I feel like LinkedIn does a really good job of connecting you with the other people that are in your industry. So I would say LinkedIn. And then I also kind of like Pandora. Love music. Love listening to loud music.
And I love the LinkedIn, Krista, because a lot of people, think Facebook and Instagram are the place to be for business, but LinkedIn does have a lot of connections that might not be on those other two platforms.
Right. Exactly.
Know anything about LinkedIn? Forever, I thought it was Likened, and I'd get a bunch of emails that was like, "Hey, somebody wants you to join Likened." What is Likened? What is that? And I still don't know what it is, but at least now I know it's LinkedIn. And so I don't understand it. I thought it's just like where people post resumes. So what's the social aspect of that?
It's become more of a social, at first it wasn't. It really was more just connecting within businesses, but now you can go on just like Facebook or Instagram and post and interact and
pictures and text.
Yeah.
I mean, just like that.
You would love Damon Johns on the LinkedIn.
Really?
He's very active on there.
Okay.
And so you can follow different, it doesn't have to be people it's just works just like, Facebook or Instagram. You can follow people that you admire and maybe their business, and they'll post about businesses and articles and videos. So it's just another way to connect, but more business focused than my kids, like where Facebook, it's like, here's my kids, here's my kids.
Yeah.
The only one I know is Instagram. That's the only one I'm on. And so I guess if it's the only one by default, it's my favorite.
Well, I love Instagram and I love Facebook. Facebook gave me my wings. Now I feel comfortable on Instagram. But what I'm really loving is Planoly. The more organized I get in my business and the more intentional I'm being about building my brand and putting out my message, I'm really going to Planoly to really take a look at what my feed's going to look like, to make sure it's pretty, all of the things are going to attract and convert clients. So Planoly has been an outstanding tool for me to juggle not only my social media accounts, but other clients that I'm working with as well. So I love that too.
Yay, that's awesome. All right, ladies, you ready to play a little this or that? Little fun game we've been playing lately? All right, play along at home.
Okay.
You just answer and we can almost hear you. Okay, first one is H-E-B or Walmart?
H-E-B.
I don't know.
Offense, Walmart. No offense.
For me lately a few times, so I may actually have to say Walmart also, because every small town I go through, a Walmart, man, it's there waiting for you.
Small town Walmarts, yes.
Yes. My husband would say Walmart. He loves him some Walmart.
My husband loves Walmart too, girl.
Oh, there you go.
Love is it. Okay, that's a good one.
All right, next one, Apple or Samsung?
Apple. All day.
All right, next question is MacBook or anything else? MacBook. Coming up next week, we're so excited. We have Rhea Stone with Click On HR. She is just incredible. And also the amazing and beautiful Brandy Bell with Bell & Company. So cannot wait to hear what both of these ladies have to say. In the meantime, you make it a great Saturday, everyone. Bye, ladies. Bye.
Are you looking for flame-resistant uniforms? Consider Rig ID Workwear. Here's 5 reasons why. There are no contracts. That's worth repeating. There are no contracts. Eliminate the hassle of lost rented garments. Corporate discounts are available for your entire workforce at Rig ID. Put an end to the hassle and stress of pickup and delivery of your company's uniforms. We offer full FR uniform products as well as boots, gloves, and accessories. Stop by Rig ID Workwear and start saving your company both money and time.